Anybody else in the messy middle? Identity crisis? Anyone? Oh god. I thought I'd do a video about things that I'm learning from this strange era of my life where I'm like, what on earth is going on? So many things I've outgrown, evolved from, not the same anymore, can't go back to, can't find, don't know where I'm going. Oh, it's weird. And humans, we don't like uncertainty. We do not like too much uncertainty. When there's too much uncertainty, we just we don't like it. Also, we don't like transitions. I mean, from very, very small, babies don't like transitions. Toddlers do not like transitions. With toddlers, with my 2-year-old, I have to give him a lot of warning if something is about to change. So, if I'm going from one activity to another activity, then I have to warn him that there will be a change. Otherwise, it will be very dysregulating. And when life happens like this to adults too, something suddenly changes, or we have to move from one era of our life to another, in whatever way that might be, transitions are dysregulating because they create uncertainty, they create change. And like I say, we just don't like too much uncertainty. So, in this time of uncertainty, the things that we'll try to do is figure it out, fix it, understand it, so that we can just get to a place of, okay, now I know where I am, I understand everything, and everything's okay. So this might be at the end of a relationship, or it might be at the end of a job, or moving city, or you just don't know. You don't know what you're doing, and therefore everything is a bit uncertain, and you don't know what the next step is. And so you try to figure it out, and you might ruminate a lot, or be in your head a lot, or whatever it is that you do. I tend to ruminate and figure things out, or talk to ChatGPT, all useless things, honestly, because life comes, life happens, the answers appear. You don't find them, they come, and this is one of the things that I'm really leaning into is trusting life. In the messy middle, when you don't know what's going to happen, you don't know how it's going to evolve, you don't know what the answer is, you don't know what next step to take, you have to trust that the answer will be presented. It will be presented. You will know. You don't know until you know, you know? And sometimes you do have to make decisions when you're not ready, when you don't know, because that is also part of life. Otherwise, you just stay, doing nothing and nothing ever changing. In fact, things always change. The only thing we know is that things change. But sometimes you do have to do things when you're not ready. But when it comes to big decisions or understandings, things making sense, that arrives. You don't go and find it. The other thing that I'm realizing as well is that where I've been thinking, I need to find myself, I need to know what I'm doing, I need to know what I'm talking about on the internet, I need to know. Like, I don't fully think that I've had it right in my head, thinking that I'll just arrive at that's it. This is my thing. This is the thing that I'm meant to talk about on the internet to everybody. This is the thing that's going to make me really successful. I don't know if it's going to be like that really for me. And I'm certainly not going to go back, find, uh, be again the person that I was, especially before having a baby. I think I've got it a bit wrong. So honestly, here's to not finding myself again. I'm not going to find myself again as the person that I was. It's more about letting go of who I am not. And maybe that's the same for you. It's quite confusing when you've embodied roles and ways of being and you no longer align or feel completely right about them. It's not about finding who you were, it's about letting go of who you're not. Because essentially, who we are is just ever changing. We are our essence. Our essence is who we are. The essence that creates, the essence that is spontaneous, the essence that plays, the essence that is, you know, that spiritually speaking is just never changes. It is always there, it's ever present, but it gets covered up by our ego and our thoughts and, you know, rumination when we try and figure everything out, which I am incredibly guilty of. I think that's my biggest distress of my life is overthinking and analysing stuff and telling everyone not to. honestly. So I know that that's something that I'm really leaning into, is just trusting that life arrives. And the more I've been doing that and letting things be, as I just talked about in another video, the more peace I feel. The more I'm just like, you know what, I don't know what I'm doing today. I'm gonna paint a door. I'm gonna go for a walk. I'm gonna do, I don't know. I'm just gonna follow the impulses of what just feels like the right next step, just one step. You know, when I try and like think of the master plan, I go into overwhelm and I can't think of it, you know, because it's not arrived yet. And I think I had the biggest light bulb moment when I thought, this is it. This is it. There's nothing else. This is the messy middle. This is where I am. I embrace the uncertainty, and that is part of life. So that's, you know, a big thing that I'm leaning into. I think I did also think I had to think of some kind of master plan because it made me feel more secure within myself. And I think that's one of the ego's tricks of thinking when you have a packaged up way of being that you can say, this is who I am, this is what I do, then you will feel like you're okay. And you make sense to people, and therefore you must be worthy. But actually, I don't, and I'm still worthy. You know, I don't have the, I don't know, I don't have all the answers, and I'm still worthy. You know, and so are you, no matter where you are. So these are all just random ramblings of the messy middle, not really knowing what's going to happen or how this is all going to evolve, but just peaceful thoughts about how things do just change and evolve and arrive, and really understanding our self-worth is always present, no matter how low down it might feel in, its sense. It is always there, and just trusting that even if you don't have all the answers, you're still okay, and there is nothing to get, there's nowhere to go, there's nothing to figure out, and just letting things be. Like, can I be okay with this? As I said in another video, can I just be okay with not knowing what's going to happen next? No. Okay. Um, can I be okay with the fact that I'm not okay with that? And can I be okay with the fact that I don't really understand that and I'm not okay with that? You know, okay, yeah, I can be okay with that. I can be okay with that. You know, just that, like really letting it be okay that everything you feel is right all the time. And then you can be like, this is where I am. It's cool. We're all right. It's all good. You know, I'm meant to be where I am right now because this is where I am. Anyway, it's 20, no, it's 7 minutes past 9, and I'm going to go now. But thanks for watching. If you'd like to come to the living room and talk to me, I'd love to meet you. If you're in the messy middle as well, let me know. It's nice when someone comments that they're in the messy middle too and they've resonated with this. And thanks for still being here, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.